Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Happy St. Patrick's Day. President Trump hosted German Chancellor Angela Merkel at the White House this afternoon. Both leaders offered to work together where interests align and gave public recognition to areas of cooperation, especially in Afghanistan and Ukraine. But it was President Trump pointing to a possible shared experience that raised eyebrows and produced even more questions on a story that has consumed the White House for 2 weeks. Correspondent Kevin Cork is on the North Lawn tonight with the latest. Good evening, Kevin.
Hey, good evening, Brett, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you and to all of our viewers out there. The uncommon presidency of Donald J. Trump taking another interesting turn today as the current commander-in-chief seemed to take a not-so-subtle jab at a former president right in front of a key ally.
As far as wiretapping, I guess, by, this past administration, at least we have something in common, perhaps.
In many ways, it was the irony of ironies. There he was, the president, fielding questions about claims the White House repeated that former President Obama used the UK's spy agency, the GCHQ, to eavesdrop on him after the 2016 election, all while standing right next to the German chancellor, whose phone was in fact tapped by the NSA under President Obama.
All we did was quote a certain very talented legal mind who was the one responsible for saying that on television. I didn't make an opinion on it.
The explosive claim picked up by White House officials after listening to Fox's senior legal analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano.
3 intelligence sources have informed Fox News that President Obama went outside the chain of command. He didn't use the NSA, he didn't use the CIA, he didn't use the FBI, and he didn't use the Department of Justice. He used GCHQ. What the heck is GCHQ? That's the initials for the British spying agency.
However, the Fox News division was never able to match the claim. But that didn't stop White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer from repeating it.
Judge Andrew Napolitano made the following statement, quote, 3 intelligence sources have informed Fox News.
That claim has since reverberated across the globe, all the way to 10 Downing Street, where today a spokesman for British Prime Minister Theresa May said, "We've made clear to the administration that these claims are ridiculous and they should be ignored, and we've received assurances that these allegations will not be repeated." The wiretapping story, part of a wide-ranging news conference that included discussion about the future role of the U.S. in NATO, the 28-country defense alliance that includes Germany.
I reiterated to Chancellor Merkel my strong support for NATO, as well as the need for our NATO allies to pay their fair share for the cost of defense.
That theme of fairness to America continued in the president's comments on trade, which he suggested enriched our trading partners at the expense of American workers.
All I want is fairness. Germany's done very well in its trade deals with the United States.
Of course, Brett, the two leaders will get a chance to meet face-to-face once again. That happening this summer in July at the G20, hosted by Chancellor Merkel and the Germans, Brett.
We'll have much more on all of this with the panel. Kevin, the Secret Service is under fire tonight for 2 separate incidents involving the White House. What about that?
Well, I tell you, it's really not a very good story for them. The first of those 2 stories, Brett, actually beginning right here in Washington, where sources tell Fox News that jumper that jumped the fence here at the White House on Friday, a guy by the name of Jonathan Tran, who had 2 cans of mace on him, actually may have jiggled a door to the executive mansion. And what's worse, he may have been on the grounds for at least 16 minutes before being detected. Tran is facing multiple charges. Meanwhile, in New York, an investigation is also underway into the whereabouts of a Secret Service laptop computer that was stolen. It could include floor plans to Trump Tower and information about the investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server. Now, the agent in question reportedly left a bag containing the laptop in her driveway in Brooklyn. A spokesperson for the agency says the laptops are encrypted and are not permitted to contain classified information. But as you can well imagine, Brett, that's also raising the ire of lawmakers on Capitol Hill, some of whom are already tonight calling for an investigation. Brett?
Especially after the history of the Secret Service in recent years. Kevin, thank you.